lunch when this happened, so only a few people were there to see it.
Staff got her out of the enclosure. Bradbury says she has puncture wounds, but she's doing well and she's going to be okay. Emily Valdez, KNX 1070 News Radio.
The search is on for a drive-by shooting suspect who killed a man in downtown Los Angeles this morning just before 6 o'clock in the area of 14th and Hill Streets. An LAPD spokesman says the suspect drove up to the man who was walking and fired several shots. The man died at the scene. Witnesses say the suspect's vehicle was a 2008 Nissan Sentra. License plate ended in H079, and it was last seen heading south on Hill Street toward the 10 freeway. Authorities in Ventura County arrested a Camarillo man suspected of manufacturing illegal rifles, along with other drug violations. The Ventura County Sheriff's Department says Christopher Olexic's arrest at his home on Glenbrook Avenue and Las Posas Road followed a weeks-long investigation. Deputies found 20,000 rounds of ammunition, a number of AR-15 assault rifles and other guns, body armor. They even found a flamethrower. CBS 2's Jeff Newen reports some of the weapons are legal, some are not.
One of them is missing a serial number.
That's alarming because that weapon's not tracked. If we track these weapons, handguns, rifles, shotguns, and the meat and potatoes of that is the serial number.
Deputies found 2 more AR-15s in a storage locker. They believe Olexic was assembling so-called ghost guns, which are weapons that are put together without serial numbers or other identifying markers.
Olexic has since bailed out, but is due back in court later this month. A registered sex offender just released 1 day earlier from jail for a previous sex crime has been arrested in Claremont after he allegedly made sexually inappropriate comments to a girl. It happened on Indian Hill Boulevard and 1st Street. The L.A. County DA's office says the man pleaded guilty 2 weeks ago to committing a lewd act at the Claremont Library. The man, who's a known transient in the area, has been previously convicted for domestic battery, trespassing, and other charges, and he's due back in court this week. Former Santa Clarita Democratic Congresswoman Katie Hill shed some light on her resignation from her seat in a New York Times op-ed. Hill writes of being devastated when nude photos of her were leaked. She blames her ex-husband. He denies it. She considered, but rejected, suicide, writing that it would betray her supporters. She resigned in a speech on the House floor October 31st.
I am leaving now because of a double standard. I'm leaving because I no longer want to be used as a bargaining chip. I'm leaving because I didn't want to be peddled by papers and blogs and websites used by shameless operatives for the dirtiest gutter politics that I've ever seen.
Hill has apologized for an affair she had with a campaign aide, but she does deny an affair with a congressional staffer, and she also writes that she's not finished with public life. If you or someone you care about may be at the risk of suicide, you can find support, information, and local resources by calling the free 24/7 National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That phone number is 1-800-273-TALK, 1-800-273-8255. Well, you know, if you have driven PCH in the Santa Monica area, it can be slow, it can be a mess, and it is just that right now. Trying to figure out what's going on right there, and Manny Pacheco will tell us what he can find out in just 4 minutes. It's 4:11.
Dell's biggest Cyber Monday week ever starts now. Save up to 50% on Windows 10 laptops and desktops with Intel Core processors before Windows 7 support ends January 14th, 2020. Save home servers and a huge selection of electronics with low monthly payments, plus get free shipping. Call 877-BUY-DELL to talk to a Dell Small Business Technology Advisor who can help you find just the right tech. That's 877-BUY-DELL or visit Dell.com/SB Cyber Monday.
If you want a smarter home for the holidays, the Home Depot and Google Nest can help. Right now, save $100 on the Google Nest Learning Thermostat and Google Nest Hub when you buy them together. Adjust the thermostat from across the room at a holiday party. Get recipes from Google Hub. And right now, do it for less. Get holiday savings now on Google Nest, exclusively at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only, limit 2 per customer, valid through December 15th.
If you have rats in your attic or walls, don't make the mistake of putting out poison or wasting money with a company that charges you monthly to check rat traps. Rat proof. For a one-time fee, Rodent Stop will identify and seal all rat entry points, trap and remove all rats, sanitize your attic to remove any nasty viruses, and remove and replace all rat nest-infested attic insulation. Rodent Stop is so confident that they can stop your rat and mice problems that they provide a lifetime guarantee. Read all the 5-star reviews on Yelp. If you have rats or mice in your house or business, call Rodent Stop at 800-290-5343. 800-290-5343. We provide fast, friendly, and effective rodent control solutions throughout Southern California. Plus, our technicians are clean, friendly, and always on time. To stop the rodents, call Rodent Stop at 800-290-5343. Open 24 hours. Call 800-290-5343.
Like a lot of people out there, I think of my business as, well, unique. Private equity can be complicated, and while I don't expect everybody to understand it, at the very least, I expect my bank to. My old bank, they just didn't get it. And they never really tried. So an old colleague of mine mentioned First Republic Bank. They have a lot of experience in the funds business, and, well, now I'm convinced there's nothing they can't do. I called First Republic, and they suggested sending a business banking specialist over at my convenience. Imagine that. Talk about service. He came in and just blew me away. His knowledge was outstanding, and he absolutely spoke my language. Finally. And since I switched to First Republic, they constantly surprise me with their continued interest in understanding my business and the speed of the transactions involved. Boy, they really know their stuff.
Personal banking, business banking, private wealth management. At First Republic, it's a privilege to serve you. Member FDIC.
I'm attorney Darren Cavanopi from 1-800-NO-CUPS. For years, I've been advising you to just shut up, but some of you are still getting arrested. So here's some 1-800-NO-CUPS, just shut up tips. If you're ever asked, got anything to drink tonight? Or, am I going to find anything illegal in here? Or even, is that what I think it is? Please, just shut up. The time to speak up is when it's time to call your lawyer at 1-800-NO-CUPS. Since no one looks good in handcuffs, unless you're into that sort of thing. 1-800-NO-CUPS.
This is Southern California's only 24-hour local news and traffic station, KNX 1070 News Radio. Depend on us.
It's 4:14. I'm Nathan Roberts. Coming up, Frozen 2 on top of the box office for the third straight week.
Wireless earbuds are seeing strong holiday demand. That story's coming up in 5 minutes when Bloomberg checks your money.
Things go terribly wrong when two large tigers decide it's playtime with the sanctuary owner. I'm Emily Valdez.
Those stories coming up in the next 15 minutes, but first at 4:15. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the buzz. Here's Manny Pacheco.
Santa Monica PCH at Chautauqua. A couple of tipsters called in, inquired about the delays in the area. Well, the reason, defective traffic signals just causing a mess as you travel down the California incline and onto PCH, and it stays slow until you cross Chautauqua. El Segundo, 105 west at Sepulveda, a 3-car smash-up. One of the vehicles still in lanes, and you are on the brakes at Nash. 5 north out of the East LA interchange, that 2-car fender bender, both along the right shoulder, has just made a mess of the area. The backup on the 5 north to Indiana, it's a tough drive on that 60 west from Indiana. Exposition Park, fans heading to the Coliseum. The Rams taking on the Seahawks. Kickoff is at 5:20. It's a busy drive on that 110 north from the 105 to Exposition. 110 south jammed up through Chavez Ravine. Both sides of the 10 busy from Central to Normandy. Avocado Heights, 60 west at Crossroads Parkway. A 2-car injury crash, both along the right shoulder. And it's slow from 7th Avenue to the 60. And we still got that problem in Artesia, 91 west at the 605. A 2-car collision, both out of lanes, and it's a sluggish drive from Bloomfield. Our next report is at 4:25. I'm Manny Pacheco with more traffic reports more often. KNX 1070 News Radio.
Cool temperatures and scattered showers today across the Southland. Temperatures topping out in the lower 60s along the coast, mid-60s for LA and Orange County Metro, upper 50s for the high desert, lower 60s for the valley locations, and lower 40s for the mountains. Showers taper off as we head into this evening and into the overnight hours. Lots of sunshine expected for our Monday. Temperatures slightly warmer, but a really nice warm up in the north by the end of the week. With Southern California's most accurate and dependable forecast, I'm CBS 2's Alex Piston for KNX 1070 News Radio.
Right now, Fountain Oaks at 62 degrees. In Santa Monica, it is 61 degrees. And in Pasadena, 64 degrees at 4:17 on this Sunday afternoon. The weekend box office numbers are in, and no surprise here. Disney's Frozen 2 still right there at the very top. Third consecutive week. Another $34 million in the cash register. Remember those? The animated sequel has Elsa and the gang getting back together to save the kingdom.
The past is not what it seems. You must find the truth. Go to the enchanted lands and into the unknown.
Frozen 2 has earned $337 million domestically, but it's expected to earn $1 billion globally before the year is out. Playmobil is another animated musical, this one based on the German toy, but it wasn't so successful in its debut weekend, a paltry $800,000. The murder mystery Knives Out came in at a distant second behind Frozen, while Ford versus Ferrari crossed the finish line in third place. The Los Angeles Film Critics Association has named the social satire Parasite as the year's best picture, and its maker, Bong Joon-ho, as best director. The critics group met today in Los Angeles and announced their picks on Twitter a few days after their New York counterparts chose Martin Scorsese's The Irishman as the best film of 2019. Best actress goes to Mary Kay Place. Remember her? Haven't seen her in a while. In Diane. Antonio Banderas, star of Pedro Almodovar's Pain and Glory, took the Best Actor award. Controversial plans to revamp the L.A. County Museum of Art have received the blessing of the Los Angeles City Council.
The plan includes a section that'll span Wilshire, and the council moved to basically give up the airspace above the boulevard to make it happen. Orders urged members to do so for various reasons.
We enthusiastically support this beautiful transformation of our neighborhood, particularly the airspace element.
The crossing of Wilshire Boulevard is an essential part of its design.
Critics tried but failed to convince the council to vote no. One reminded members of some of the less than flattering descriptions of the design: coffee table, toll booth, freeway overpass.
The legacy of freeway overpasses dividing communities in the city is a haunting precedent, and I think we should not repeat this in 2019. I ask you to reject this giveaway of our grand boulevard.
The council's support was unanimous. At LA City Hall, Claudia Piscuta, KNX 1070 News Radio.
It seems that baby boomers might be creating a boom in the housing market. A new report from Zillow says more than a quarter of homes across the country are expected to go on sale in the next couple of decades as boomers either move out or die. It is being called a silver tsunami. Senior economist Jordan Levine with the California Association of Realtors tells KNX the increase in supply does not necessarily mean that homes will be more affordable in the state.
We'll just have to see what the demand conditions look like at that point in time, because when we talk about the silver tsunami, we're really only focused on the supply side of the equation, and of course there's the demand side that has to compete with that. And of course there's a lot of markets where there's just tons of excess demand, whether measured by population or by job.
Children of boomers could benefit the most out of all of this if boomers pass their homes on to them instead of selling them off. For breaking news, push alerts, plus podcasts like Motec on Money and KNX In Depth, download the radio.com app and favorite KNX. We are everywhere that you are. 4:20 and time to check money news now with Tom Busby.
They're all the rage this holiday season. Wireless earphones like Samsung's Galaxy Buds, Sony's 1000 XM3s, and Apple's AirPods. Despite a list price of $250 for Apple's noise-canceling AirPod Pro, they're flying off shelves. Dan Ives, Managing Director of Equity Research for Wedbush Securities, predicts 65 million Apple AirPods will be sold this year, blowing away the Galaxy Bud, led by strong sales so far this holiday season.
Definitely one of the stars of the show in terms of Black